Hello guys, it's Charlie from ACSC here. Just a quick one before the episode starts, which will follow this little quick message for you guys. If you are really enjoying what content we're creating, and it will mean the world if you guys are, but I've been in contact recently just looking around for other podcasts, and I found one created by Simon, Thomas and Darren, who are based up north in Liverpool, I believe. They create really good content, very similar videos to sort of what we do, a bit more spin on it. I've watched quite a few episodes and they're really well produced, and obviously the latest one come out, which is about the ultimate midfielder attacker. It's quite a controversial one, a few different opinions in there, and it's something we would definitely like to work with them in the future. They're called Three Men and a Football is the podcast, and I'll put a link to them below. Obviously their YouTube, they're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well, but their YouTube is what we're going to be venturing into, where you can actually see them with their faces, which it's a really cool aspect. So please guys, take a listen to them, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy the episode, which will start now for yourself. Hello guys, and welcome back to the ACSC podcast. My name is Charlie, and as usual we are back again. I'll just say thank you very much for all the great support we've had recently. The last episode's been a bit of another controversial one, but great response. It's been really good. I'll quickly pass you to the usual co-host Adil.
Hello guys again, it's me again. This one we're actually recording face to face, well in a house with our guest special, who I will let Charles introduce in a second. Again, thank you from me as well for the overwhelming support we've had throughout the 7 episodes so far. This is obviously episode 8 now. And like I say again, thank you for supporting us. There'll be a lot more special announcements coming up as well very soon. Again, that you'll see soon on our Insta Lives and everything as well. But I'll just pass it back to Charles to introduce our special guest today.
So yeah, we have Elliot Hughes on this week. He's a school friend of ours as well, but plays golf. So this is what we're going to touch on at first. He's known for a bit of his golf career, now doing other ventures into other things. So pass over to Elliot.
Yeah, cheers guys. Thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure. Yeah, pleasure for me to come on as well. I really like what you boys are doing, so I want to be a part of it.
Nice
I just may add quickly that we are still abiding by the distance rules.
Yes,
we're
of course.
2 meters apart.
That's very important.
Just make that clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. So we'll go straight into it. Obviously, known you from school, etc., and obviously know you massive golf fan, etc. Going to school. So, what made you get into golf first of all, really?
Well, golf is interesting. So, when I was younger, I never obviously I played football because of my powers, but my dad's he's Welsh, so it's very rugby orientated. So I played rugby growing up as a little kid, and then I got into a bit of badminton throughout school, which was really fun. Got to quite a good standard. But then I went to the driving range once with my dad, and we was there for a good hour and 20 minutes, and for an hour and 15 minutes I couldn't hit a golf ball.
Did your dad play golf prominently?
He tries.
Oh,
he tries.
Okay.
Bless him. No, he's alright.
Yeah.
He's alright. He doesn't play. He plays like once or twice a year. So he's alright. But yeah, as I was saying, that driving range session for a good hour and 15 minutes, couldn't hit it, and then the last ball I hit a good one, and I was like, I need to come back. And
Right. You feel good about it.
Yeah, you do, and that's how golf gets addictive. It is an addictive sport. Because it is harder than what people think. Like so many people have come to the range and they're standing there. I see them all the time with a driver trying to hit the ball as far as they can. They end up hitting it like 2 feet in front of them.
Like myself. Many times.
As I said, so it's like golf's the sport I like playing as well. Probably not to the level you have played, etc. But I like I've always said to people getting into it, it's not as easy as just picking a club up. There's so much that has to go in, etc. with it. Yeah. So obviously you played to quite a good level from what I know.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I was
school days, weren't it? Really,
like 10, when I was 10, 11, that was when I first started playing golf. And then I knew I was getting serious about it because I started, my dad was paying me to have lessons all the time. I was at the golf course, before school, after school, till like 10 o'clock at night, walk home, because the golf course, Windmill Hill, which is around the corner
close to us here.
From here. So I used to walk. So Mum didn't give me a lift, or occasionally if it was raining or something. But I'd go off my own back because I enjoyed it so much. And that's when I sort of went, I'm taking this quite seriously.
Did you like, obviously because you got into golf, did you like, when you said you had that shot where you were last one you hit and you were like, I hit a good shot.
Yeah.
Did you have like a passion for it? Because when we watch football, for example, we watch it with passion and then we play with passion. It's quite hard to play a sport without like, having a passion for it and then playing it. So did you actually quite enjoy golf?
Yeah, I think with all sports, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the passion grows.
Of course it does. Yeah,
I
that's
think
exactly what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
So it was like I've got quite an addictive personality as well. So I'll talk about that later. With maybe why my career didn't go as well.
Yeah,
we would like it to, but we'll touch on that later.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I hit that good one, I had to go back, and when I went back, then it's like, right, I've got to go back tomorrow.
Addictive.
Then the next day, and then the next day, and then that's where the passion comes through. Then you're watching it on TV. You know, you're watching it before you go to bed.
Yeah.
You're putting in your bedroom.
Yeah.
This is to win the Open.
Your bedroom's that big that you can putt in your bedroom.
Mum's like yelling at me. I think
so how did that take off then? After like, how did you like almost progress in the golf?
Yeah. So it went. So then I joined the golf club as a member and to get my handicap as well.
Okay.
So I got my handicap 36 as a junior. So I was off 36 when I first started, which is the highest handicap you can have.
Yeah.
And then in a year I got down to 12.
How old was you when that progression happened?
I was 12.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah,
So
12,
very
13.
young. Very young.
Yeah. And then when I got to 12, for the longest time, and it baffled me till now, I was like, I couldn't get down to that single figure handicap that I really wanted.
Yeah.
So that took a lot of work, changed a few coaches.
Yeah.
And about I think 15 years old, I was now off 7. So it took me a good 3 years.
Yeah.
To get to that point.
I presume the lower you come down, the harder it probably gets. Right?
Yeah.
So,
well, the easier, but the harder
Yeah.
if you're playing like a game where handicaps matter, like Stableford.
Okay.
So basically, if you don't know what Stableford is, you get the higher handicap, the more shots you get on holes.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah. So that's where the stroke index of a golf hole. That's another topic, but that's basically
Yeah.
So as you get a lower handicap, you get better at the game.
Okay.
But it does become harder because you get less like mulligans or less chances to be. Oh, I've had a bad shot there. It's alright. I get a shot on this hole. You don't get that. It's like oh no, I'm really in the crap here. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next question, obviously, I've got as well is like you played golf for how many years did you say you kind of was stuck at it for? Or?
So 8 years. Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, 8 years so I got in 8 years I got down to 4.
Got a handicap of 4.
Yeah.
And then what kind of? Because obviously I know, like I think Ian Poulter became a pro off a handicap of 4.
Yeah.
So what was there an opportunity to then progress into a professional career?
Yeah.
Or what happened exactly?
This is where so I think my dad supported my golf because it was more of an investment for him.
Okay.
So there was 2 routes that you can go down as a professional golfer. You can either go down the playing route, which is not hard at all actually to do, because all you've got to do is turn up to an event and you can turn up off any handicap and just say I want to play as a professional, and they'll take your amateur status away, and then you're then playing for money. So it's not as
I see.
Yeah, so you don't have to be. The only reason you need to get down to 4 is if you want to do the PGA university course up in Birmingham.
Okay.
Which they do do 2 rounds in a day to qualify.
Okay.
To get into the uni course, so you could do it that way
as
well. And at the time, I was started getting into coaching, even though I didn't have the qualifications. But I studied the knowledge. Like I was doing a lot with now the head professional at Woburn, Daniel Greaves, and he teaches the likes of Charlie Hull. Georgia Hall.
Charlie Hull, the female.
Yeah, and Georgia Hall, who won the Ladies Open.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, his knowledge of the game was so great.
Paramount.
And I loved picking his brain. So he would take short game clinics and stuff. And I'd go be his second hand. So I'd get a lot of, I knew what I was talking about.
So you pick up an experience side of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was taking a lot of then the junior classes that they were holding up Woburn, which was great for me, because I was like, I do like this side of the game. If my playing career doesn't work out, but between around that sort of time, I turned 18.
Yeah, and
started. I was brought up a Jehovah's Witness, so
okay.
not that I loved my upbringing, I wouldn't change it, but it was very sheltered, shall I say?
Okay.
The fact that I couldn't do most of the stuff that someone who wasn't brought up a Jehovah's Witness. I know Adil, you might feel the same because
being a Muslim as well.
Upbringing.
Like again, obviously, not drinking alcohol.
Exactly.
And going clubbing, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
You got that restriction.
Yeah.
Being a Jehovah's Witness is probably similar. Yeah,
exactly. So when I turned 18, the world sort of
exploded,
just opened up, and just girls drinking. You're making new friends when you go out. You get other passions, and as I said, I've got a very addictive
beer
personality.
started coming through.
Yeah, beer started coming through.
Yeah,
the glow up starts.
Yeah, of course.
And I started to pick up new passions because there was a point in my golf where I kind of almost
stagnate a little bit.
Yeah, and it was like I was happy, I was content. I think
with what you achieved,
with what I'd done. I didn't set goals like, right, I want to do this, then I want to do tour school, then I want to be in the European tour. I want to be world number one in the next 5 years. Like I never set that goal, and I wish I did because I don't think my mentality would have been easily swayed. Like,
would you say like, did you have a mindset where you thought, right, I could be something really good, or did you start to doubt yourself? Because I think when you get to that stage where you're almost there or you're nearly there, if you have doubts, like even like a professional or whatever you want to do, whatever field you want to become, if you have doubts, you restrict yourself straight away, don't you?
For me, but I can imagine golf's very different in the aspect of it's so straightforward in football. When you're youngster, you play.
Yeah.
You didn't get to academy level, etc. You get, and then you work. It's always like a plan's there.
Yeah, it's like
it seems like other sports like golf, like you're saying, it seems to be so easy that really anyone who sort of plays can go down, like you're saying, the player route of you turn up on a day. I want to be a pro.
Yeah.
It's probably seems so much harder to really get that.
It sounds it, which I've never knew.
No, that's why it's interesting to hear. But like, it seems it's not as constructed, etc., as other sports.
100%. The tours, like in football, you get conference, League One, League Two, Championship, Premiership.
Yeah.
In the golf, you do have like Euro Pro, Challenge Tour, and then European Tour.
Yeah.
Okay.
They generally speaking, they do have a kind of a link, but it's not like an official. Like it's not as big as the football is. Yeah. But I think that's maybe where football's just so much big. I reckon so much bigger than golf. Like. And golf's an individual sport as well, not a team.
No, of course not, but there's that element as well.
I think that can almost, it's good and bad, because when you've got a team, you kind of, as a collective, your morale is higher because you all
support
boys,
each other.
let's all go. But when you're doing it for yourself, the rewards are greater, but professional sportsmen in any sport is not as easy as people think.
Make out, exactly.
And I think I finally realised that when I started playing in bigger, better tournaments, and you start playing abroad, and then you're seeing players
almost exposed.
They've been playing since they were 2 years old, and their parents have been so strict. Like that kid a few years ago played in the Masters when he was 14 years old.
That, and he was in the pro-am
and I think in the UK sometimes you can get naive, especially in golf. Like if you're not the best at your golf club, then you can't be the best of your county. If you're not the best of your county, you can't be the best in England. And then if you want to be the best in England, that's where you're gonna possibly have a good golf career. You need to get to that level. And I don't think that really hit in until I was kind of I was just satisfied with where I got. I was like, I kind of almost had that attitude of been here.
What age did you feel that? As in,
that
when
was,
did you think that this is where I'm at now?
1920.
It's just a couple of years back then, really.
Yeah.
Or 3 years, 4 years.
But I think it did for a little while stop, and then I sort of stopped playing for a good few years because I failed. Like some rounds I turn up and I just play so badly, and like.
So mentally,
it takes a toll. Like it proper takes a toll on you, and. That's when I started just to lose the love of the game.
Yeah. So I can only imagine, like, I've played a few rounds of golf, etc., and not being at the level you would play.
Yeah.
Golf can be the most frustrating sport I have ever played in my life. Literally, 1 minute you go from hitting an absolute beauty of a shot, and the next one you think tear half the green up. I never played golf ever again. So I can only imagine at that level. So, right, saying sort of with the training side of things, is it very different? A lot of people say they can go to a range and they hit the ball clean 60 shots, but when it comes to playing in a tournament, etc., how different of an aspect does that feel?
Yeah, it's a big one. I think if I can give any advice on that to anyone who's thinking about doing golf professionally, is that it is definitely the way you train and who you've got around you.
It's important.
It's very important. Like when I was playing my best, I had Drew Broughton, who used to play for Milton Keynes. He was the striker who got him into, I think it was promotion into League 2 or League 1, I think. And he was my PT. Then I had the short game, long game coach with Dan Grieve, and then I'd go see Jamie Donaldson for my putting sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And then you could also have a mental coach as well. So Drew, for me, was he was a PT, but he did help me with my mental side as well. So he was doing two things at one with me. So he was a great guy. He taught me a lot about professional sportsmanship and the life that it brings. He did help me out a lot. But you need that
a team around you, if you like,
so that you can prepare to go into the tournaments and then play the same as you're doing when you're training. So when you go to the driving range, don't think, oh, it's a massive field, I'm just going to hit it anywhere. Go, right, this is the first hole. It's a links golf course. I want to hit a low stinger right in between those two posts and pick it out and play like you're actually playing the golf course.
Have that mindset.
So when you go out onto the golf course, you're like, right, I did this on the driving range.
You know it.
For hours. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you link it into football, essentially. You don't just go onto a pitch.
No.
If you're taking like penalties, you don't just go to I'm just going to ping it there.
Exactly.
Train every day. It's no different. And I think that's the things people get sort of mixed between the lines of different side of things and that. So sort of linked into now you were saying this is, so what made you sort of make the decision to stop playing golf? I think you sort of touched on a bit of the mental health side of things. I think that sort of played a big part. Yeah,
100%. As I said, I've got a very addictive personality. So once I started going off golf and I didn't even pick up a golf club, I started DJing and barbering. Was my new
very good barber now. I must say. Very good.
My two loves, and the same with barbering happened as a golf history almost repeated itself. I got to a point and I was happy with where I got to, and I wanted a new challenge. And that's where really I pushed my DJing to go because I love DJing so much.
And that's what you do. I mean, obviously you still do that.
So. Under One Too Many is
that's your Insta,
house DJ name. So I'm just trying to push that and kind of live that dream and make sure this time that I've set far enough goals
that aspirations
that I don't go, right, I'm content with where I've got. I'm going to stop now because I've done that every time, and it's kind of taken me this long to look back and go, that's what I was doing. Why did you keep doing it? Stop repeating yourself.
I think it's quite interesting because, as you were saying, on the mental side of things, golf is a sport where if you, like you said, you had a few rounds where you weren't playing good enough. And in a football game, if I don't play well as a winger, Charles could be on the other wing and he could score a goal and get the win for us. And what you can do as well there is you can, if Charles gets to goal and gets the win for us, he saved me there. He saved
you don't feel as bad.
Exactly, you don't feel as bad. Your manager won't kind of grill you in the training group. You've got the win because your team's helped you out. Whereas in golf, you hit a bad swing that way, your caddy can't pick that club up.
It can be quite lonely.
It can be very lonely. So the mental side of things can really affect it. And I guess it potentially took a toll on you on that, didn't it? Really,
especially with sponsors, like a couple of my dad's, pals, my dad. They all, help. So when you're playing, you've got that pressure on you as well, and you're like, I've got to perform, not even just for myself. But for these other people as well. And then when I won my junior club champs at 15.
Oh, you won that? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, that's when I moved to Woburn to sort of get down from 7 to where I got down to 4.
Yeah.
And once you join as a member, you then play for that club. So when you are turning up to events, people see the name and almost expect you to, all right, this guy comes from here, so he must go out and win now. Because and I am blessed that I did get a chance to play. It's the most beautiful golf club you'll ever.
Where's this? Sorry.
Up Woburn Golf Club.
Oh,
literally
yes,
just 2 seconds up the road. Compared to round here, compared to Wimmer Hill and Abbey Hill and Waverton, which is closed down now, Woburn's in the top 100, so you do feel like so honoured.
100 in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, you do feel really honoured when you've got that name behind you.
Yeah. I think even in school, I remember it was in year 10 or 11, and I remember Elliot, me and you used to talk about your golf career. And I used to say to you, when you become a pro, I'm going to be your caddy. Do you remember we used to have this conversation many times?
Yeah. Working out percentages.
Yeah, working out right. Already negotiated already, like 5 or 10%. No, we did, honestly, we did. I don't know what class it was, but I remember I used to even think of the excitement because his golf career was almost starting up there and kind of going through that middle stage.
Yeah, that's
then obviously knowing now you're not obviously playing it in terms of on a inspirational or aspirational level anymore. You're kind of playing it more. You still play it, right?
Do you know what? Funny enough, I hit the ball better than I ever have, and I enjoy it more now. My short game, you lose your short game, that's for sure. But my long game is like I think it's because I've got no thought when I'm playing now. It's kind of playing freely.
More that there's no added pressure, etc. on you now, because obviously everything's sports so much harder when there's pressure on you. When you know 100%. It's like you say, the competition. When you like, for me now, so I can't play football at all to the levels I used to be able to.
Injuries
play
again, Charles, isn't it?
Injuries, etc. And that side of things. But now, for me, when I play football, like we had a kick around the other day.
We did, yeah.
It's so much more enjoyable and relaxing, even just doing it as a hobby side of things. You sort of take away the aspect of seeing this as a career, etc. and it now becomes your hobby. It becomes so much more fun.
Effectively, almost the way I think about it as well is that because you've not got that, I don't know, they call it on your back. What's that saying? You know, you've got the
weight on your shoulder.
Weight on your shoulders. Where that's been lifted. You're in a situation now where your ability is still there. If you like. You've got the more power in your drive now, wherever it might be. So effectively, now that's gone off you. You're playing more freely now. And if anything, you're probably even better now. But then if you now start to think, right, I'm going to dive back into as a career. That way will come back on. And then it could,
it has crossed my mind. I've been playing. That's lovely.
I could do this again.
I could do this again. I think about doing it, but I'm just like, I don't know if I can. I'm getting on a bit. Well, not. I'm only 23, but I still feel like you need to. If you want to make it as a professional sportsman, you still need to be playing at a high level. Around this age, you do need to.
Well, I think you've seen the way the dynamics change into football. You see now, like youth players. You look at players are now 15, 16 and they're literally starting in the first.
They are.
The way the game has changed, and it's probably the same in golf. You like you say that 14-year-old playing in the Masters.
It's
like
I saw that. My dad was looking at me like, "Why are you not there?"
So it's only like 14. The level has changed so much.
Just obviously touch on that as well. Obviously, we'll move on to our football topics in a second, and just finish off with you now.
Yeah, cool.
Just got one more question potentially before we close up on that. Is that what would you say to those that want to come up and do it, like on a mental side of things? I know you've gone through ups and downs, as well as what kind of recommendations and what kind of advice would you give for someone, no disrespect towards you, Elliot, who's not quite made it? You'd be right in saying that's very true.
100%.
So for someone that has went through the same route with you, what could they do different that you didn't, that you did? How can you help them? Just finish that off.
Yeah, that's a great question, Adil. I'm glad you asked actually, because if that's one thing that I did have a failed career, so if I can give anything back to someone who wants to do it, I want them not to make the same mistakes I did. So what I would say is, like, don't ever be satisfied to where you are in that sport. And if you think you're good enough, right, that's not the mentality that you need. Or if you think, I've got to a good enough standard, you need to, like Ronaldo, for example, he trains like he is the worst footballer, like so hard. Do you know what I mean? He's never happy.
We've touched on that like
many times.
You don't reach the level where Ronaldo and Messi, etc. The greats do, without dedicating. Like, they don't have a personal life. Their life lives and breathes football.
Is that? They're never satisfied, and that's the key. If you're not working hard, someone's working harder than you.
Yeah, that's correct. There you go.
What I would say to these people in any sports is just set goals and never be happy with like your ability for that sport. Always wanting to learn and push forward and get better.
And never think you're there, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's how you will be the best if you always maintain to get better.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
No, just want to say on that as well. Yeah, I really appreciate talking about.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Career.
No, it's been nice to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing saying I didn't know some of that stuff.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah,
Neither did I. I've been quite close
to
with Elliot over the years and grown even closer actually since school as well.
Yeah.
And even some of the things you just said there and opened up a bit more, which I appreciate that. I know you never have done.
Yeah, no. Cool,
but we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
And obviously, I think we're going to move on to our actual football side of things, which
Yes,
Elliot, who is a big Chelsea fan.
Ah, yeah.
We'll touch on Chelsea because they're very much in
the main topic at the moment.
They're the main thing right now, Chelsea, aren't they? So we'll touch on that, and there's a couple of things that we've obviously discussed with Elliot that we'll run through as well.
Yeah.
Charles, do you want to just start?
Yeah, because I think the main topic that we sort of said on the Instagram live the other day is we're going to talk a bit about some of the rule changes, etc., that's happened in football in recent years, and sort of our opinions on certain things, and bit of topics. I think there's two of them that we're going to discuss about the domestic cup, which is obviously I think it's the EFL Cup or Caramel, whatever it's called now. Would that be scrapped in your opinion, etc.? And obviously the January transfer window, which now a lot of people doesn't really see the need for it because player prices are inflated. So we're going to discuss them, but we'll probably start on VAR. This is
VAR.
VAR.
Yeah. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I've actually missed VAR, and you know how much it was so like every week Premier League VAR this, VAR that. Not hearing about it for the last 3 months, it's made me miss it. But
it's a strange one. I think
it is a strange one. Yeah.
I like the opinion. I like VAR if it works. I think the problem is they don't follow enough other concepts of other sports to see the way it works. Like you look at in like rugby, a prime example of how it works and can be so successful.
Yeah.
And like the main thing I don't see the point is they've got the freaking TVs at the pitch side, yet the referee's instructed not to use them. Yeah. What's the point of having them?
Well, that's interesting because I've noticed that the Premier League specifically that do that, don't they? Where they get told,
they're instructed not to
like
use them.
Like someone in the where is it? Stanley. I don't know where the actual hub is.
Stanley Park.
I think it might be Stanley Park.
Yeah,
where you got the group of referees.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and they tell you, right, Michael Oliver, whoever it might be, right, Michael, decision here, we think it's the red card. Mm-hmm. Michael Oliver is the first guy that's made a decision to give a yellow or red.
Yeah.
Should he not then go, right, you know what, thank you for that opinion. I'm going to go look at that monitor.
Yeah.
I've made the initial decision.
Yeah.
Can I correct my decision? Thank you for your opinion, but ultimately it's him, he's the spotlight.
That's the thing that I don't get.
No, I don't get
because
that.
you look at other things like the Bundesliga, every ref in other leagues, they are advised to go and look at
it. Takes an extra minute or two, but you want the right solution.
I don't know if it's even an aspect like the mental side of things, is the referee doesn't want to admit he's wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's
and the Premier League protects. It's almost like the Premier League, the PGMOL, whatever the board even. They kind of like they're like wrapped in cotton wool, if you like, the Premier League referees, and there's no criticism for them.
No.
And don't get me wrong, there are Premier League referees like Michael Oliver who I actually rate very highly, but majority of them over the years have made, in terms of like other leagues like the Germany referees, we've just fallen a little bit behind on that. And Elliot, I'd obviously let you touch on that and see if there's anything what you think on the referees and obviously VAR on that as well.
Yeah, well, Charles touched on it a second ago. It's very interesting. Like the VAR in football, like the International Football Board. Like I don't know why they don't look at other sports like rugby and cricket.
Yeah.
And
cricket,
cricket, brilliant. Yeah.
When they first come out, I don't remember the same amount of dramas that we're having in the football with these other sports.
No, I don't remember.
And why?
That's true.
Why?
That is
it's
true.
So how are they getting it so wrong? Sometimes I'm sitting looking at the VAR, I'm like, what's going on here? Like they're not. This is not helping. I don't think it's helping the referees. They need to be...
No, it doesn't, because it brings up... there's so much uncertainty in the air. Like we sat there on the TV, and it's very easy for us to sit behind the TV and go... It's very easy to say, oh, that's the wrong decision. But when you can see it clear, right, he's on side.
The clearest one for me recently in this season, did you watch the Arsenal United game in about October?
Was that home or away?
Away.
Arsenal
when we played... we were
away.
when
Aubameyang was offside.
Literally, no, he was onside.
He was given offside initially.
Given offside, and I'm not being funny, you could have fit 2 double-decker buses in
the
gap.
funny thing was, the linesman was actually in line properly. He was in a great position. Aubameyang was clearly onside, like about at least 5 yards.
Yes.
And somehow he flagged him offside.
Yes, and
it's like the United, everyone stopped. Aubameyang tucked it away, I think he digged the hair.
Yeah, he did.
And then there was a quiet celebration. I think Aubameyang didn't, no one really thought he scored.
Yeah.
And then when VAR checked, they got it right, they overturned it.
Yeah, they did. But that to me is the clearest example of, that should never have gone to VAR.
It shouldn't have, no.
But
that's where VAR helps that.
Yes, it does, and that's a prime example of where it works.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, is the other things is interesting. Is you see like how other sports don't link it in. is, I think the problem within football itself is it's a very old school community as well. The rules haven't changed, and I think the problem is a lot of people's opinions is we don't need technology.
No.
Yeah, that's
like the whole thing with goal line technology when that came in, that's been around a while now.
But
I think it started when we were sort of at school, coming.
I think just when we were back at school, it was kind
and
of
everyone was saying we don't need this. We don't. Yeah, but it works.
There was that famous Frank Lampard goal in the World Cup,
yeah,
which was. I think it hit the net. I'm pretty sure.
Honestly,
and it obviously wasn't good.
I think this is half the problem. Is a lot of people don't want to accept technology coming in to help the game.
Well, it's needed.
When it is needed, it will change the game. Don't get me wrong, it can have an impact, like I said, it can make games longer. But would you rather not have correct decisions each time rather than...
I must admit, being a football fan, I love the bit of controversy. I love a bit of... like it spices the games up. But when it's stuff like a 2-footed tackle, which is high, if it's a red card, that's a red card. When it's stuff like offside, if it's offside, it's offside. Stuff like little freaks in the middle of the pitch, little tugging on a shirt and stuff. There's the stuff that we need. You can't like change everything.
No.
And as Elliot said as well, about going back on it as well. When cricket initially brought in Douglas, they brought in
you got Snicker.
Yeah, Snicker, and they brought in all the technology and everything. Yeah. I can't remember any of the like them getting it wrong initially.
No.
I think it was trialled to an extent.
And I think what's important, sorry, quickly,
go on,
is that in cricket, if there's not a clear and obvious
it doesn't get overturned.
It's the original decision on the field, which I think VAR, I think the Premier League ref are not helping themselves out by tiptoeing around VAR itself.
That's a good point, because what happens...
I like the way you said clear and obvious there, but this is the thing I've always had is, what do you define as clear and obvious in the Premier League? What do you in football? What do you define? Because this is the massive debate. It's the amount of decisions you see being made at the moment.
Yeah.
Yet to me, it's clear and obvious, yet gets ignored.
Yeah.
Yet then you go 50 yards when you don't even sit at the other end of the pitch to then go and look at it. It's like, well, how's that clear and obvious?
Yeah.
I think there's two aspects the way I look at it. I've got two kind of solutions, if you like. The first one is, you know, when they're really, like, you see, like, it's an armpit or whatever, it's that tight.
Yeah.
Now, if the initial decision is offside or onside, and then they're sat there for about a minute looking at it, then, like Elliot said earlier, in cricket, it's on-field decision. So if that linesman didn't put his flag up, then the goal stands. If he put his flag up, then if it's that tight, then it's offside. Because that's what the on-field original decision was. Now, that's one way of potentially looking at it, and it could do it. The other way I was looking at it, because obviously, I think the controversy comes a lot on the in terms of how tight the offside lines are. Now, I thought maybe potentially, you know, the offside line, you could potentially make it a little bit thicker potentially to make sure, because if the offside line is a little bit thicker, then you know, like, if it's a bit over that line, he's offside. If he's on that line, he's onside. Now that could work potentially. And then I saw someone, I think Arsene Wenger might have said it.
Well, he's now.
In fact, Elliot touched on that. What did Arsene Wenger said about the last?
Since he's left Arsenal, he became the FIFA chief of global football development.
That's what he's now.
And he said back in February that he wants to change the offside law, that any part of the attacking player is behind or in line with the defender of their, like, if their foot or whatever, that it's, even if their left half is offside. Was it any part of what
they could score from?
Score from, So the
hands are not there,
the hands, But if their foot's out past them, but their head's back here, they can still be allowed to go onside and not offside, which I think would help.
What do you think on that?
I do think that would help the game a lot, and I think it gives the benefit of the doubt
to the attacker.
Because I think too long the defenders have been getting the benefit.
I think what's happened is, in fact, you're spot on there. Since VAR's come in, the defenders are getting the more benefit. But then again, if we did that rule, it really exposes the defender. Do you not think where it does really expose the defenders?
It does, but in a way, then if they don't change anything to VAR, then that's going to make it more decisions 10 times harder to actually fire. But you look at I think the one thing that stands out with VAR was it the Wolves game when it was actually like a minuscule of given offside.
It might be against Liverpool actually.
It was
at Anfield, and that was the.
Was it the guy that got ruled out offside when it was literally like I could tell you could fit an ant?
Neto. I think that new signing to the Portuguese one, Neto scored. I think it was the opener initially. I think Liverpool won that game in the end 2-0 or 2-1. Toughest game I've seen at Anfield. And they were dominating. And in the first half, Neto scored.
Yeah.
No one thought anything about it. Me and Dad were sat there actually thinking, oh, you know what, that was coming.
Yeah,
and then VAR checked it, and like you said, it was such a marginal decision. And obviously, being a Liverpool fan, I'm glad about it. And obviously, it was overturned.
Yeah.
But being a football fan, it's like, really? Because that was a big moment. Liverpool are flying high, and Wolves have come on taking a lead at Liverpool. Yeah. That could have changed the game, potentially from a neutral perspective.
Well, it's interesting that you and Charles have touched on that, because this reminds me of, again, why they're not helping themselves with VAR, because there was a game, I remember, I think Sarri was in charge of Chelsea, and it was in the FA Cup or Carabao Cup against Spurs, I believe, and there was a moment where the VAR camera is almost in the middle of the pitch, but the goal line's so the angle's not great for offside, and then there was a Chelsea camera that was actually running along. That was dead in line, and it was actually showed that I think that it shouldn't have stood the goal against.
I think you're right.
And I was just thinking, why are they not doing that? They do it in rugby. They do it in other sport.
Why is the angle, that initial angle,
and that
should be right.
That would help them out loads.
I think what it is, because it's still being kind of, you can say it's being trialled. It's coming into it. Hopefully, over the next couple of years, I'm a fan of VAR in terms of that. I believe it should stay.
I think it should as well.
But I feel like it will take maybe another season. Give it another season. See, it should improve. You'd think it improve.
You can't get rid of it.
Now we've got it.
You started it.
Yeah, you started it.
It's trial and error. It will work.
But why is it taking so long? Because in the other sports,
it doesn't.
I didn't see them complain. Oh, give us another year.
That's exactly that.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly
why are they finding
it? And especially football being like the main sport. Let's be honest. Football is the greatest sport in the world. Yeah, we'd agree with that. In terms of like numbers, like in terms of people watching it. In terms of even money wise, probably is as well. Like, you know, the winners like. The money wise you get when you win Champions League and stuff. Now, for such a big sport, you'd want your technology to be right up there.
Yeah,
but it's not. It's not at all, is it?
And it's like the answers are there, and they're sort of looking elsewhere.
The listeners, I'm sure you guys we are very passionate. We're actually sat here like jumping off our seats. We'll keep it like this still, but like I said, we're very passionate about it. And I think we'll just have to move away from VAR because we could probably talk for ages. Charles, I'll let you move on.
We'll go on to the domestic cup. I've seen this as a big thing. Obviously, a lot of other leagues have now done it. Obviously, I think Spain, they've only got the league and one cup.
Germany,
I think France is the same. Oh, actually, no, France have got Coupe de League
and the
other one. But a lot of it's a thing in England.
Common
Jurgen Klopp's come out and said it, and Pep said it, that they want it scrapped because the amount of fixtures. I completely agree. Personally, I don't see the point of having the Carabao Cup.
It's in the English Football League Cup. It's now Carabao Cup, isn't it?
So many freaking.
But doesn't that make the English league the?
What's that?
The amount of games that we have, the difficult, like.
But
I can see that aspect. I can.
Yeah.
But I think it sort of, in a way, it takes away. I think it will make the FA Cup more special again.
FA Cup can never go away.
No,
I think there's no argument in terms of that.
I think it's lost what it has had
because
over the years.
Like
growing up,
stuff,
the FA Cup was the thing you wanted to win. Now
you won a couple of years in a row, and no one really like.
Well, we're the record holders of it.
Exactly, and again, because when FA Cup was once, such a prestige tournament. And over the years, you've obviously won it a couple of times. Yeah. And that's like the only major tournament you won. But even then, it wasn't even thought of as a major tournament. You're just like, well done, you won the trophy.
And that's what takes away some of the special. And I think like the EFL Cup as it is.
Yeah.
Never had, like growing up in school, it was always known as the Mickey Mouse Cup. No one ever wanted to win it.
But then it's like, no one wanted to win it, but if you won it, you'd call it a major trophy. It's like
exactly.
That,
but the thing that I see is like, I get your point.
Yeah.
I get both of your points. But it's like, I think it's a wonderful thing for the youth players.
Yeah,
I think
very
they
good
get played
point.
a lot
Very
in
good
big
point.
clubs.
Yeah, and the lower league
they
teams
don't
as well,
normally. And also, if you think about it logically, the bigger clubs, should get through to the later stages.
You'd say so.
Yeah. So the lower end clubs of the Prem haven't got as many games.
Yeah.
So they might actually be better the next game that they play because they haven't played as many games, so they're more fit. So it keeps it still interesting. And like you might get like, when did Leicester win the
Premier League? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, it's sometimes that game or two. The Man City just they had the extra game, so they couldn't give the it's little things like that.
Yeah.
Bring so much
I think
spice to
what
the
it
Premier
does
League.
is the lower league teams or the lower end teams in the Premier League or Championship.
Yeah.
It gives them more of a chance to go and win it or have a cup run, if you like. A day at Wembley, everyone loves a day at Wembley. But what
it's
it
not
does
that
is
important as well. I think as good as them, good values, there isn't that.
no,
much.
because Liverpool had it back in December. We had
Yeah.
an EFL Cup game scheduled on the same night as the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Now I've never seen ever in the history of football.
Yeah.
We had to field under 23
That's
team, I
right.
think it was,
I remember that.
which was managed by Neil Critchley.
Yes.
While Jurgen Klopp was like
That's right.
4,000 miles away.
That's the Vinegar.
Yeah, they beat us. I think it was
4-0,
4-0 or 5-1, 5-0 maybe.
Yeah.
And we basically had to say, you know what, we couldn't go for all the trophies because it was scheduled on the same night, and we had to basically give away that cup. It was a quarter final of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
If we won that, we win a 2-leg semi-final at the potential final.
Because the Carabao Cup, the finals early, isn't it?
It's in
like
February.
February time,
they play that. Yeah. And obviously we had to give it away, and because there's so many games, Jurgen Klopp had no decision. He said, right, I have to let these boys play.
Yeah.
And then what he does is, and then what happens, it impacts like for the English teams. Like in the World Cup, if you see like England over the years, I know last year we had or 2018, we had quite a good World Cup semi-finals. But before that, England have always had so much hype around, oh, we're gonna do it, it's coming home and all that. But it hasn't happened because our English players, the majority of them play in England. Majority. Now they're actually like Jadon Sancho has gone abroad.
Yeah.
But because they play in England, they play 50, 60 games a season. Where the German, Spanish, French boys, they're playing 30, 40 games a season. So they're fresh, they're fresh, refreshed, they're energised. They go into the major tournaments not fatigued. Where our boys, we've got like Harry Kane, people like, I don't know, like Sterling, who's with Man City, who play 50, 60 games a season. Comes the World Cup or Euros, so much dependent on them, but they're fatigued, they can't do it.
I think this is like it shows, obviously, when you've got more foreign managers and high class like Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola coming on, they're so opinionated and normally come out and said they would rather not be in this competition.
Because it just doesn't affect it,
because they don't, obviously, like you're saying, it's a trophy, but they don't see the need to have it.
And
I completely agree with them, that's just my side of it. It's,
But I get Elliot's point.
For the youth system I do, but obviously I think the youth system's improved. Obviously you've got the EPL 2 now. Which is the youth league version of it.
Is that the checker? No, it's not checker trade. Is it?
No. So you've got you've got EPL 2, which is basically the Premier League equivalent for youth team. Obviously, you're allowed. There's a lot of rules which have a lot of youth players, and it's played to a high standard as well.
It's true.
And obviously, you've got the loan system works a lot better.
Didn't Pep say something in a press conference? He wants a B team, doesn't
he wants B teams in the other
Oh, is that what he said? I don't remember.
In Spain
they do
Barcelona.
that.
You've got Barcelona
Barca
B and Real Madrid Castilla.
Which makes sense.
Which the rules are they're not allowed to ever get promoted to La Liga.
Yeah.
So obviously that's why you see Barcelona B etc. in the second division, but they never ever get close to the top.
But they're getting their
minutes against good opposition.
Yeah.
Actual men instead of just playing.
You help teams like Chelsea out.
Considering Chelsea's a club
out on loan.
Literally. We'll touch on Chelsea at the end. You're a fan, of course. But we'll move on to another topic.
The final one, which is obviously the January transfer window.
Yeah.
This is a bit of an opinionated one. I think.
It is an opinionated one.
It's quite a new thing. I've had a few discussions with people, or obviously a lot of work based, and it's, do you really see the need for a January transfer window now? And I can understand why you wouldn't, because you look at any player in January, you're looking at paying 10 to 20 million on top of what they're actually worth, because teams can't afford to lose that player in January. But I think the way it should be done is more of a loan system in January.
This is your opinion on this.
My opinion. I think it should be more of a loan operated system that you don't really need as such a January window now.
No.
So on that, the way I see it is obviously in the summer we generally get, is it 2 months we roughly get? I know this year it might be changed. So we get August and it's like July and August
it's
usually.
Normally, well, it opens up in June, doesn't it?
June,
Late June,
and then officially announced on the 1st of July. So officially you get 2 months. I know this year it's going to be different because of the pandemic.
I think it's going to come under saying about August, October.
I think that's what they said, October. Yeah, exactly. So you already get 2 months at the beginning of the season. Now the January one is interesting because the way I see it, if someone like a mid-table Premier League team, they have a number 9 striker who's ripping up the Premier League, in January he's a hot target. Now and a lower team, they haven't got the finances to be able to keep hold of these players. Now they do more so. But the lower boys, like Timi Pukki, for example, who started at Norwich, came in the Premier League and he was ripping it apart. Now, if he was targeted in January and Norwich got a bid of 30 million,
they would have took it.
They would have took it, exactly. Yeah. And then what happens is you've got 28, 29 days left. Everyone in the world knows Norwich have got 30 million now. They need a striker.
Yeah.
This is a Norwich team that's actually fighting relegation. And a lot is dependent now So if they're going to go to get a striker, his value is about 20 million.
Yeah.
That club's going to say, give us 40.
Yeah.
We know you've got 30, put a bit more of your own money in it and get it.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it. Financially, they can't do it. But they have to do it, because if they don't have a striker, and they're going down.
Yeah.
So I think it can be scrapped. And it should be scrapped. I like your loan system.
I think it's like saying it's a loan. Obviously, Barcelona made use of it with, was it Braithwaite who went to him on loan?
Oh yes,
so I think the loan system works in that aspect.
That was a weird one. That
that was weird.
Didn't he play at Middlesbrough or something?
Yeah,
he was. I mean, then he went to Raul Vallecano, I think it was.
Valladolid or something like that.
I think the loan system, in my opinion, works due to the fact that if, say, your world-class striker suffers an injury, then you've got the low opportunity for someone, say, like Batch White at you, who doesn't get enough minutes, etc.
Yeah.
You could take him on loan for 6 months, just to fill that void, etc. Gives them minutes as well.
Yeah.
But then you know he's coming back to you, so it's not like you're losing that side of it. And that's where you can then make your changes, etc. in the summer where it should be done.
Would you say the January transfer window, does it have a more of a positive impact on the bigger clubs? Like, do you think if you're at a big rich club, can it be more beneficial than a small club? What would you say?
I don't know, because I feel like a lot of the bigger clubs, because it's there, it almost gets to it, and then they're like, panic. We need to get someone.
That happens a lot. You see it on almost deadline.
They're wasting 50 mil on some
like you said
rubbish striker.
Yeah. I don't think it does have an impact due to the fact that, like I've said, it's inflated.
Yeah, it is.
Like every player, you may have, like Timo Pukki, probably worth 10 million on average. Yeah, because he had that banging start, they're going to go, right, we want 60.
Yeah.
Because they know they can't afford to lose it.
And in all fairness, from a Norwich perspective, I don't blame them for putting that price
No, I
up.
don't. I don't. But where do you draw the line?
No, you don't. Exactly.
That's why I just think it's in the modern game, it's not needed.
It causes, like I said, we're discussing it here, and we're going on about it and being very passionate about it. That discussion doesn't need to happen. It's just, it's so unnecessary. It's not needed. So if you scrap it, then there you go. You have a whole 2 months to set your team for the season, and that should be your team. There shouldn't be an off season where you get a month. That's the season. If you can get an injury or two, the way you said as well, the loan. Even sometimes I probably even disagree with that. That's your squad. If you have an injury,
so in a way you'd want to more so with the model of a lot of American franchises where like you got the draft, etc. They get the draft after that. That's your squad.
That's it.
Like NFL,
it's cutthroat. It's very cutthroat.
Like the NFL is you have now the period before, like you say, in the off season. They make their changes then. If you get an injury,
you get an injury because you get 2 months of selling and buying. As soon as this get match day 1 or whenever the deadline is, you need to make sure, right, I've got 2 players in this position, I've got 3 players in that position. That's your squad. If your number 9 gets injured, that's tough.
But in a way, it's a good thing because it can also help your youth. Because in like in the NFL, a lot of you get your star quarterback gets injured,
and then who plays? Youth comes in. Like Chelsea, for example. If someone like Tammy Abraham got injured, let's not use Chelsea. Let's say Tottenham. Harry Kane gets injured. Troy Parrott. He has to step up. They can't go in January and buy, I don't know, someone like Danny Ings from Southampton. They can't do that. The young Troy Parrott will get. Okay, then there's that. Okay, it's a pressure on a youngster. But then he's part of the Tottenham squad. He's been bigged up to be a very highly rated player, to be maybe potentially world class when he obviously gets a bit older. So it gives him the youth a chance, and that's Tottenham's squad. Now, if they didn't buy a backup to Harry Kane in the 2 months in the summer, that's their problem. That's the way I see it. It's tough. It's your opinion. That's why. That's my.
I could understand. I think that would work in a way. I think. I like that aspect. I do like that.
Yeah, I think. Have we got any more topics, or would you want to move on to?
We can move on. So we'll probably talk, obviously, because Elliot's a massive Chelsea fan. We'll move on to Chelsea just due to the fact it's probably the hottest topic I've seen.
We've spoken about Chelsea before. I think we touched about Roman Abramovich
as well, everything like that. But
on the live as well.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So obviously we've done an episode obviously about Abramovich at the start. I think it was episode 3.
I think it might have been 2 or 3 actually. Yeah.
One of my other friends who's Chelsea fan wanted to ask us about. Obviously, it's 10 years since Abramovich obviously won the league the first time. And obviously how it's evolved, etc. But you can't deny he isn't back in Lampard now. Obviously, with Hakan Ziyech arriving already agreed, I think it's 32 million.
Well, it wasn't more than 40 million euros.
It's a very good deal.
Yeah.
And obviously now imminent. I think I saw today is that Timo Werner is set to join.
Werner deal looks like it's. I don't know. It's not completely done, but I believe
it's in principle. I think it's been signed on principle.
And
I've seen the amount of people coming out saying that's going to be player in this decade. He's going to be a huge.
He will be fantastic.
Obviously now Kai Havertz.
Yes, that's an interesting one.
Very recent rumours over the last 2 days. Pretty much. Now set up is even on Sky Sports now.
Yeah,
I think it's about 70 million.
Yeah, I think they've done 73 point something.
Because Kai Havertz was, obviously I've been monitoring his progress, and obviously the Bundesliga restarting, he's been hot straight away. And he was linked with, obviously he's very linked with Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and Manchester United.
They were opening up talks, weren't they, Real Madrid? And
eventually. I think Real can only offer a couple of players, maybe something like that. Yeah. And obviously Liverpool with Jurgen Klopp, Germans, so there's a little bit of links. Chelsea, not really too much links.
No.
Up until maybe like a week ago. Not even a week ago, probably about 3 days ago. And then obviously Sky sources and Sky Sports have confirmed that Chelsea want him.
Yeah.
I think, what's his name, Christian Falk in Germany, who's obviously a very credible source, has said that Chelsea are very serious about it.
Yeah.
Now, what it shows, even if they don't get him, it is showing Chelsea's intent. Now, especially in the pandemic we were in, they're getting Timo Werner.
If they get him as well, Werner's what, 40 million, is it?
I think 49 million pounds.
50 million pounds.
Let's say 50.
You're looking at, if they get Ben Chilwell, which are massively linked as well.
Yeah, I think
that's
50,
60 million there. Yeah. You're looking at a 200 million plus summer.
In this current Liverpool, for example, let's be honest, I think everyone was almost sure Timo Werner's going to end up at Liverpool.
Yeah.
We were like, look, we don't want to take no risk. We don't want to spend no money because we can't risk it.
Yeah.
Roman Abramovich, who there's been criticism over the years where is he not interested in Chelsea anymore? This is a man that's willing to put who actually spent 120 million on a painting. I saw no, honestly,
it does surprise
120 million pound or euros on a painting in the last couple of weeks. Honestly, search up, you guys see it. And he's got a potentially 200 million watch. I know Chelsea, they had that ban. They sold Eden Hazard for 100 million.
Yeah.
The funds are there.
Yeah.
But in this pandemic, he is showing one his faith in Frank Lampard, which I love. The young British manager who's getting a faith shown in him.
Yeah.
And two, he's going, look, in this pandemic, I want my team to be Chelsea. Let's be honest. Since he came in, I've been the one or two with United and the City are now more into it. Chelsea are the big boys in the Premier League. Yeah. Last few years, they've kind of dropped back. They're now a top four kind of challenger.
Yeah.
If Kai Havertz gets signed, or Jadon Sancho, they've been linked with him. They're title challengers for me next season. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Well,
but
it's interesting you say that because I was watching on the news the other day. Matt Law from the Daily Telegraph. He said that they've laid down a massive marker.
Matt Law, is he the Telegraph?
Yeah, from the Telegraph. Yeah, from the Daily Telegraph. He said that Chelsea have laid a massive marker down, going for Timo Werner, spending 53 million in the middle of this COVID pandemic, as you said, Adil.
Yeah.
Which puts pressure on the other big teams in the league, the likes of Arsenal and Spurs, that will have to go for loans or free transfers. Potentially. And it's true. Like in the middle of the pandemic, this crisis that's going on. Yeah. Chelsea are really going.
They are.
Right, we're gonna come back next season, and really prove to be title contenders. And I love that. I love that. But
it's
again, I've gone. Well, Chelsea just falling back into their old ways. Because
they almost showed faith in youth, didn't they?
Not too long ago, we was going the youth. Now we're bringing all these new players, which is great.
Which is nice.
But are we going back
Where
to
does
the
that
old
leave
ways?
Billy Gilmour? Where does that leave Tammy Abraham? Well, Tammy Abraham's been incredible.
I know.
He's got 16 goals in the league this season.
Yeah.
My honest opinion of Tammy is, I've said this before, I do like him, and I don't think, but personally, someone like Timo Werner, give him 10 chances, he's going to score 6, 7, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Tammy, to me, will score 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
He's not consistent enough.
Almost a gap.
If you think, for me, Chelsea have always been known for big striker. Drogba, you've never really replaced as such.
Well, yeah, Costa for a little bit.
Who I liked.
I liked him.
I think if you have him, you love him. If you don't have him, you absolutely hate him.
Yeah.
But
you've always had big strikers.
You have actually. Fernando Torres was a brilliant success, weren't he? Oh, brilliant.
Well, the Champions League 2012.
He did, to be fair.
Fernando Torres.
So things like that, it's always been there.
Yeah.
So Tammy Abraham, I think, will be a very good squad player. No denying that. But to me, if you've got the chance to sign someone like Timo Werner,
you're not going to pass it up.
You can't pass it up.
No, you can't.
You can't.
But then again, it's like, because Lampard, obviously they had the ban, Billy Gilmour came through, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount,
Tomori.
Fikayo Tomori, Reece James, Tammy Abraham. The list goes on, and they're all come through. They're all pretty much, I think they're all English, we mentioned. I think Tomori, I don't know if he's Nigerian. He's English as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I think he's got
Nigerian
descent.
But he represent England.
But he did play for. Didn't he play for the under? Youth level. I might be making that up.
Yeah. Like I said, they're showing so much faith, and then now also they've got Hakim Ziyech, Timo Werner, and obviously Chilwell they're linked with, and maybe Kai Havertz. It goes away from did they really show favour, or was it just that stopgap?
Yeah.
Where they had a ban, so they had no choice but to play the young players. And because Chelsea, a lot of people this season, I actually didn't have Chelsea as the top 4 guaranteed because they had no first team signings, and the youth came through. So they basically all their players played with the shackles off. Didn't they?
Yeah.
There was no pressure. But now next season, there's pressure on Frank because for one, he's spending like no one else is.
Well, they're spending 300 mils.
For the way I see it, Man City and Liverpool almost guaranteed top 4 teams now. You'd say Liverpool less so than City, obviously.
Yeah.
But then now you potentially say you have to say Chelsea now.
Yeah.
It leaves United, Tottenham, Arsenal, Leicester, Wolves, and maybe Sheffield United. Maybe not so next season.
Yeah.
But all of them are going to fight for effectively one place if you're going to say Chelsea top 4.
Yeah.
And now the way I see it, if Chelsea sign those players, they have to make top 4 next season.
Have to.
They have to with that team.
With going to have so much pressure on them next season.
So much pressure. And now then obviously then people will say, well, you put so much trust in your youth. Yeah. And you haven't this season because obviously let's be honest, if you get Kai Havertz, he's going to start.
Yeah.
Timo Werner, I'm pretty sure will have to start. Hakim Ziyech probably likely to start.
So where's Pulisic going to go? That's interesting, isn't it?
Well, he hasn't quite hit the ground running.
No, how much did they spend on him?
He has been injured.
Yeah,
he has. In fairness to him,
I don't know what it is about him.
I think Jorginho goes.
I was very shocked that you spent the amount of money you did.
58 million. Yes. I think they got a deal done in January. Well, pre-hand, and then they got it in the summer.
And I always feel like, I don't know about you boys, but when my Chelsea, I don't know about for your teams, but like when you get a player coming in from abroad, they've got a great pedigree. But how many times do you see it in the Prem that they come here and they just can't cope with the Premier League?
It's common, isn't it?
Yeah, so common. Very common. And that's why
I think we've all got a player like that. I think Arsenal, you've got Dani Ceballos, who again was that flair player, hasn't quite done it.
Yeah.
You've obviously Pulisic, and we've got Naby Keita.
I think the bigger player I would say for us is Nicola Pepe this season.
Oh yeah, in fact,
you're looking at Pepe was probably 72 million.
He had Di Maria as well a few seasons ago.
United.
And then when he
United, he was Di Maria.
Didn't he go?
He then went to PSG.
Was it? Oh, he went to PSG?
Yeah, he didn't play for any other English team of United.
No. Oh, okay.
You had Falcao went from United
that's
to
right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
But also for Pepe was arguably the season before coming to us.
He was
second best player to Mbappe in the French league.
I heard this.
And like watching his highlights,
didn't he finish second that year as well?
Yeah. But watching his highlights, he's unreal.
Yeah.
He's now come to the Premier. I don't know if it's going to take time to adapt. But
it will. But how much time?
For 72 million, should a player be adapted?
No.
Or you expect him to hit the ground running.
You do when you spend that funds on him. And it's not exactly a 21, 22. I think it's about 25 now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought he was younger.
No,
well, that's the thing.
He was a bit of a late bloomer. That's what you say.
Yeah. But like I said, like you said earlier, like you said earlier, with all our clubs like Liverpool, Naby Keita, where they've done well abroad and they come to Premier League, it's either the physicality.
Naby Keita's an interesting one because I don't think he's done that bad for you.
No, there you go. See, I'll be honest with you. The only reason I said that because that's the only one I can think. Because Jurgen Klopp's signing, let's be honest, have been brilliant. Have they? Because that's why we're so good right now.
Yeah.
But Naby Keita is the only one that I can almost think of where he hasn't done too bad. You're right, and he's been injured a lot.
Yes, I think he's injured.
In fact, I've been watching him in the training clips. He's bulked up a lot more.
Yeah.
And I still really hope he's got the iconic Gerrard shirt, number 8.
Yeah.
Which there is that pressure straight away.
Yeah.
I hope he comes good. He's only 24 still, so he's not exactly old. Still a young guy, Naby Keita. But then again, he was 58 million, million, which is our second most expensive signing. No, actually, it's Van Dijk, Alisson, and then it's him. Exactly. So he has.
So do you not think he should be at his best already at 24?
Well, there's the argument. We just talked about Pepe. So
this is the thing I said last week to you when you were saying that. I said to me,
you're not a youngster
class 24.
You're not.
You should be.
I think
almost
your prime should be 26, 28.
28. Yeah.
Like I said before, is a player coming through at 16, 17. That's young.
Yeah.
When you're
especially now, because you're
23, 24, you could have potentially played your career nearly 10 years.
There's players out there that are captain. Matty de Ligt, captain Ajax to a semi-final at 19.
Yeah.
So that he almost feels like the younger they are.
Kai Havertz, is he not captain at Leverkusen?
I think he was. Well, he captained a few games. I don't know if he's actually
he was great. He scored his first goal for Leverkusen when he was 17.
I think I mentioned about Kai Havertz on our potential, our world, we'll talk about Messi, Ronaldo.
Well, and I said
we've had him in there before that. He's one of the top 3 that we said.
I said he'd go further than Jadon Sancho, and obviously Charles said no, and that's his opinion.
I think he will.
I think he will. I watch him play, and the guy's so intelligent.
It reminds me a little.
I don't want him to go to Chelsea because you're going to be frightened.
It reminds me of a Van Persie, a bit taller and skinnier.
But he's not quite a striker. It's weird.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's not quite a striker. But I could, when I was watching his highlights, he looked like he was always in the right place.
Yeah, he was in the
right
right
place.
Do
you know what I mean? He understood. It looks like he understands the game itself, which is great at such a young age as well.
But that'll be, if that obviously happened, obviously that's going to be a long way to go on that one. There's no, I don't think there's even open talks yet on that one yet.
I think they have open talks.
Yeah,
Chelsea have now.
Leverkusen come out, didn't they?
Yeah, they have open talks with them, but there's no fee or nothing.
No, because he's also said, I wouldn't mind playing abroad, but somewhere where they can win trophies.
Yeah,
that's what he said. Yeah. And I think Bayer Leverkusen have gone, if for the right price, we don't want to sell him, but for the right price comes, he'll go. That's what they've said.
To me, I think 70 million's cheap for him.
I don't think they'll give him 70. I think that's surely an opening bid, isn't it?
No, I genuinely think that's what they're expecting.
I was looking. What's that website?
It is less for him.
There's a website online. You could do like transfer
market.
Yeah, stats, and it was.
Spelled as MAR.
His estimate was, I think, 73.6 million.
Yeah.
So
Well, what you're saying that, did you not see? I could change a bit the other day where it's come out about they do it every year. I think it's CIES.
Oh yes. Yes.
4 of the top 5 are English players.
Are they?
Who are they? Mbappe is the top. I think he's worth.
So 100. I believe Rashford and Trent are the other. Well,
he's 192 million. I believe Mbappe.
Okay.
Comment for it. I think it's Arnold.
Wow.
Mbappe. Sancho. And
Rashford.
Wow.
We're the top 5 most value.
So Trent must be well over 100 million then, right?
I think he's worth about 176 million.
Wow. How many Liverpool players is that?
Oh, that was just the one there.
Just the one?
Yeah. Arnold, and then we had Rashford United.
Sancho's about 108.
Arnold, was he?
Yeah, that's impressive. Saying that.
That's impressive.
For a right back, think about that. You said Mbappe, they're all
he's great, but I don't think he's like, you don't go, oh my god.
No, you don't.
Like Van Dijk go, what a great.
Exactly
He goes almost
Yeah.
unnoticed, but he's there. You know he's good.
Always there, exactly. He's reliable. And he's still a young boy. I mean, he's
so young,
21,
so
20.
young. Yeah.
But I think what was that? Have we touched on everything?
I think so. I think we can wrap it up for today. So,
yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Elliot, for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Honestly, it's been nice. Thank you for opening up again on obviously your golf career and the mental side of things. Which was obviously very appreciative. The mental health week was a few weeks back actually.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Like I said, that was the mental health week. But obviously, I think we have got something planned in November. When it is,
but we're really glad that you obviously touched on that.
Obviously, if you guys have enjoyed Elliot on, let us know. He's a good friend of ours, so we'd happily have him on the show.
We will. We're happy. We will do like Insta Lives and stuff, which Elliot might be on as well. But going forward in the future for other episodes, which might be recorded on Zoom or actual recording one, would love to have Elliot. If you guys want to hear Elliot again, he's very knowledgeable.
The golf's starting again this week as well on Sky. So.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In fact, today, isn't it? No, tomorrow. Yeah, but
tomorrow.
Charles, do you want to just wrap that up?
Of course. So, just a little one add on because this will be out on Friday. On Sunday, this is a double special week where we try to do them every bit often. So we'll have an episode out on Sunday at 6 o'clock as well. This will be one of our other guests, which is Tom Jones. He is a friend I've known from university. He's now a coach at Hitchin Town. So we have a guest in who's going to discuss about his coaching time, his time at university, and his experience within football. So for this week, thank you very much.
Thanks again from Elliot Hughes. You've been listening to the ACSC podcast.